Hello and welcome back to Tabletop Odyssey for our final Malifaux Battle Odyssey of M3E. The 4th edition beta has come upon us much quicker than expected, and there will be content on that to follow in future. For now, let us look at the lists for today's game. My opponent brought Lord Cooper 1 to the field today with Hidden Agenda and with his 3 Totem Runaways. They brought Model 9, both dogs, Artemis and Ullr, the Hunter, Kainhearse, and the dreaded Ahool, and a Vatagi Huntsman, flush with cash, and 5 stones to round it off. Their plan? Snipe out my key models as quick as possible, and claim the objectives before I stop their movement. For me, however, I took Jackdaw 1 with the Whisper, the Lady Ligeia, a pair of Hanged with Grave Spirit's Touch, Montresor, the Ferryman, and Sloth. 5 stones remaining. My plan is to use Sloth to push everyone all the way up the field in a chain from Montresor and get to those bombs as quick as possible, having my Hanged tie them down to stop them scoring. The mission today consisted of plant explosives on corner deployment, which will keep me back further than I'd like, with a scheme pool of Outflank, Deliver a Message, Deathbeds, Ensnare, and In Your Face. I took Deliver a Message off the Ferryman and In Your Face, whereas my opponent took Deliver a Message with Model 9 and Ensnare. Turn 1 begins with Sloth passing fast onto Monty and walking forwards, while Ahool strides forwards. Monty then fails to watch the first time but succeeds twice, moving up each Hanged. Artemis onwards and then runs up to take the middle, as Ligeia strides up and takes a shot at the Runaway but misses. Kainhearse runs up and makes a pit trap in an awkward position, however, as the Ferryman swims forwards as the dancing Runaway zooms up and charges the Ferryman. The silent Hanged is then going to walk and focus, while the Vatagi mirrors Kainhearse with a run and pit trap. The screaming Hanged is then going to walk and toss a noose at Artemis before placing with On Your Heels. They're then going to use their horrifying whispers to give them a forbidden upgrade. Ooh. Model 9 then runs up and marks the spot, while Door walks, draws Monty to Betrayal, focuses and takes another walk. Very far up the table now. Ullr will then flush Cooper forwards and focus, while the stabby Runaway is going to dash up. Cooper will then walk twice before shooting a Hanged for 5 damage. Ow! The last Runaway is then going to smack the Hanged but fails its terror check. Turn 1 over, and Cooper is definitely scaring me here on this side of the board, especially with how slow some of my models can be. Turn 2, however, I will take the initiative with the screaming Hanged. I whisper horrifyingly into Cooper and On Your Heels into him before smacking him for 2 damage, drawing a card. Model 9 will respond by marking the spot, push forwards, run and gun at Door before delivering a message. Point to Cooper. Sloth will then give Monty the zoomies once more as the Ferryman makes waves towards a bomb. Monty then tells a Hanged to walk and hit Cooper, staggering him. He then shuffles away. The Vatagi will shoot the weakened Hanged, but misses, so tosses a trap down instead. Door draws the Ferryman to Betrayal, suppresses for 2 on Model 9. The stabby Runaway then moves and charges Ligeia, but does 1 damage. She'll smack back and fail twice, because that's what she does. The dancing Runaway will then charge the Ferryman, failing their terror, and then missing the second attack. I'm going to pass here as Artemis discards that upgrade, taking 2 and Nimble off to drop a scheme and a bomb. This silent Hanged then horrifyingly whispers Cooper onto his shield and smacks him for 5 damage. Take that. Cooper then stabs the other Hanged back, but only manages to do 1. Ouch. The Ferryman splats the Runaway and walks up, as Ullr tries to I got your back Cooper, but fails, so they're just going to walk up. Kainhearse then takes a shot at the Ferryman, doing 1 damage and taking 2 from Vengeance. I really love Vengeance. I fail to take any bombs here, so it's 2-0 to Cooper, having scored Deliver a Message and a bomb. Turn 3, and my Screaming Hanged is going to regenerate straight away here, away from death, before whispering at Ullr with Mental Trauma. Focusing, but fails to hit the Cooper. Ullr will then discard the upgrade for damage, yank Cooper out of combat, and charge the Hanged himself to hold them down. He'll then flush out Cooper for some extra space. The Ferrymen will then swim to the now exposed Cooper, delivering him a message of their own, before Ullr is moved away with Lost in the Fog. Ahool is then going to drop yet another bomb down and scheme while Door focuses, attacking Model 9, but misses, before thickly tormenting for cows. Stabby Runaway hits Ligeia for 1 more and calls for help. Neither master really doing too much right now. Sloth is then going to give Monty the zoomies once again, and Model 9 is going to diving charge to shoot Ligeia and drop a bomb. The lady stabs him for 1 damage. Vatagi then draws, schemes and charges the Ferryman, but fails their terror check. Ooh, yikes. Monty will then crash over the line to drop a bomb, before charging Cooper, missing. Artemis will then nimble walk deep into my half now as the silent Hanged whispers at Ullr, dragging them to the gallows to die. Cooper tries to hit the Ferryman in return, but terror is proving a massive struggle. A focus attack does manage to push through 6 damage, however, trading 2 back. He then gives Kainhearse focus, who's going to run and trap Monty twice, engaging him. We're both going to grab ourselves a bomb here, and I have delivered my own message, so Cooper will lead 3-2 into turn 4. Big turn for me here as Cooper is tied up, leaving my Ferryman free to smack the Vatagi for 5 damage total. Big chump. Artemis then eats one of my bombs, onwards it, back over the line, and drops a bomb on his side. A misplay perhaps, or are they trying to stop me placing another nearby? Door will then wail on Model 9, destroying him for in your face before walking up twice. Cooper, in trouble here, gives Kane a focus and moves everyone before smacking Monty. But he failed the terror check 3 times. Ooh, that sucks really bad. Sorry, Cooper. Ligeia is then going to hit the red Joker on damage to kill a Runaway here beside her, walking to Door, while Vatagi moves a scheme and places it a little bit closer. An attempt on Ensnare, perhaps. The Screaming Hanged then regenerates again. Ooh, not good for them. Tossing an Ace at Kainhearse for 3 damage, giving him an upgrade before on your heelsing and killing him in melee. Not looking good for Cooper now. Ahool is then going to fly off to the wings again, while Sloth rushes up to give Monty the zoomies once more. The Silent Hanged then drops a bomb and slings a noose around the Vatagi to kill them off, as Monty disengages and runs towards their deployment zone. With a bomb for them and for me, with In Your Face to boot for myself, it's 4-4 going into the last turn. The board state is in my favour. And turn 5 is a little bit of a clean-up here, as Artemis is going to begin by barking at the Hanged, and then runs to hit the Ferryman but misses. Sloth will walk up, give the Ferryman some healing, and give him the zoomies. As Cooper's going to focus here, smack the Ferryman for 3 damage, and dying to Vengeance, which annoyingly actually denies me a point on Deliver a Message, so interesting playline there. The Ferryman will then kill Artemis with a couple of hits, and Ligeia takes a walk. Monty runs and drops a bomb in their deployment zone, and the Screaming Hanged will walk twice put an upgrade on Ahool. There's no need for Silent Hand or Ahool to activate now. The game is 100% over here. I am going to score the second point on In Your Face and grab a bomb as they take a bomb themselves to end the game 6-5 in favour of Jackdaw. Closer than expected. Lessons learned. Terrifying is very strong here, and it certainly made it difficult for my opponents to kill me without Ruthless. The T-Rex is certainly on their list to buy when it comes back in stock. Being able to on your heels 10 plus inches off the hang is absolutely fantastic, however, and these guys are very difficult to remove when you give them regeneration and a higher terror. Sloth performed his job really well, just handing out all of the zoomies to Monty, allowing him to get more obeys and allowing him to approach their deployment zone for In Your Face. I'm very happy with this crew so far, and from what I've seen of M3E, Door looks like they'll be pretty fine there too. I'm keen to try Ensouled in there. My opponent, however, struggled once Cooper was tied up, not really doing a lot with them. They struggled to control the board state because they couldn't kill my models very well. And perhaps they'd moved Cooper a bit too far up, allowing them to get in this precarious position. They noted that my upgrades felt a little bit like a negative play experience, and fighting the Hanged almost felt a little bit worthless for their time, which I 100% understand. Door does seem to have that reputation. Overall, with Cooper, there does seem to be something missing to tie it together properly. We're really hoping that that does come together in M3E. With that being said, we hope you enjoyed watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more. Let us know who you want us to see play in the new edition in the comments down below. I'm really excited to see your thoughts on the new edition as well. Anything that you would like to see happen, any changes you would make personally. And also, tell us about your experiences of 3rd edition in general, as this seems to be a fitting send-off for it. I'd love to know some of your best memories. This has been Tabletop Odyssey, whispering horrifyingly